Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you and tell you how to adjust bifold closet doors. This will be a full tutorial, but also an easy tutorial, so let's get right into the video. There are essentially 3 simple adjustments that you can make to your bifold closet doors. Whether you have a dual door setup like this one is going to be, with one door over here, one set of doors over here and another set over here, or just a single door setup. Sometimes you just have one set of bifold closet doors that fill the entire gap of the closet, okay? It's gonna be the same process, except that with the dual door, you're gonna have to adjust both of them if you want to. With a single door setup, you're just gonna have to adjust one set of bifold closet doors. Now, essentially, there are 3 adjustments, like I said, okay? The first 2 adjustments are down here on the outside corner at the bottom, and the third adjustment is up here on the outside corner at the top, okay? So 3 adjustments. Let's go over the first 2. So we're gonna go to the outside corner at the bottom, and I'm gonna show you the adjustments that you can make. So essentially, when you go down, let's get down low with the camera. When you go down and you look at the outside bottom corner of your bifold closet doors, you're gonna see that there's gonna be a notched track. This track right here has essentially a set of notches in it, and there's like a bolt over here, which I'll show you in a moment, that sits on that notched track. Now, essentially, the adjustment that you can make is very, very simple and straightforward. The 2 adjustments. The first adjustment is going to be if you want to increase the gap or decrease the gap between the framing and the outside edge of the bifold closet doors. To do that, you essentially want to lift the door up and then move it out or in before placing it back down. So I can lift the door up, okay, because the top part is retractable. So when I lift it up, that top part is retracting up into the top, okay, into the top of the track. So essentially, I can lift the door up, and I can try to do this with one hand without losing control of the door. I can lift the door up and I can move it out like that, or I can lift it and move it in like that. And you want to make sure the notch ends up, the bolt head ends up in the track. So you can see there's the bolt head right there. I'm trying to point at it with my pinky right there. I'll make it sit on the track. So you can see right, oops, sorry about that. So there is the bolt head right over there. You can see it's sitting on the edge of the track. You want to get it inside of the notch track like this. In the notch track, you can move it out. So lift it up, move it out like that, or lift it up, move it back in and release, okay? And you want to make sure, like I said, it's sitting in that track. You can see the track there, it's sitting in the track. So that's the first adjustment. Lift it up, shift it out or in to increase or decrease the gap towards the end between the framing and the end of the door, okay? The second adjustment that you can make is also over here, and that is if you lift it up and I expose the bolt again, as you can see right over there, this bolt can be turned clockwise and counterclockwise. When you turn it clockwise or counterclockwise, the bolt is going to go further away from the bottom of the door or closer to the bottom of the door. So essentially what you can do, and I'll put it back in place like that. Essentially what you can do is you can increase the gap at the bottom or decrease the gap at the bottom. So in order to do that, you probably would want to remove the door completely, I would suggest, because it's really hard to do it like this unless you have 2 people where one person is holding the door up in the air, the other person is turning the bolt. If you're doing it by yourself, I do suggest that you remove the door completely, okay? And essentially what you're gonna do in that situation is you're going to twist that bolt clockwise or counterclockwise. That will raise or lower the door from the ground, basically, okay? So now I'm just gonna sort of increase that gap just a little bit because for the next adjustment, I wanna have a little bit of space. There we go. So I'm making sure that it's in the track, which it is. Perfect. So those are the first 2 adjustments, okay? Lift it up, shift it left or right, okay? Or lift it up / remove it and twist that bolt counterclockwise or clockwise. So those are the first 2 adjustments. For the third adjustment that you can make, it's essentially you are going to be increasing or decreasing the gap between the door and the framing at the top of the door. So right here, that retractable piece is inside of a hole that is attached to this movable bracket. The key is you can move this bracket over here, okay? So what you want to do is you want to gain access to this screw over here, okay? And here's a pro tip. What you can do, as long as your door is secured nicely on the outside, what you can do is retract this piece and just remove it. So I retracted that piece and I removed it from the track. Now what we have is sort of like a free hanging door over here, and we now can go inside and look at the inside of the door, and guess what? That screw that I was talking about that you need access to is right there, okay? So all that you want to do is essentially take a screwdriver. I'm trying to look at the camera, so bear with me as I try and get the screwdriver in place. I'm trying to do this, like I said, while looking at the camera. Take a screwdriver and you can loosen this, right? So I can loosen this, there we go. It was painted over, I painted over it, so it's a little bit tight there. I can loosen this, and once it's loosened enough, I'm gonna see if I can do it now. Once it's loosened enough, you can actually, nope, it needs to be a little bit looser. You can actually move it, you know, in on the track or out on the track. So if I loosen it a little bit more, that's probably enough. Maybe the paint is just really like holding in place, but I'm just gonna give a few taps over here. But when you loosen that screw enough, you can actually move it, there we go. You can move it away from the framing, and by moving it away from the framing, you're gonna increase that gap. As you can see, we have a massive gap there, way too big. Or you can move it in, right? So I can move it in. And then, as you can see right now, the gap is much smaller, right? So you can adjust it however you wanna adjust it, and when it's in place, make sure you tighten that screw back down thoroughly. So I'm tightening this screw really tightly. You want to secure the screw really, really tightly. And when you secure the screw just like that, oh, my screwdriver got stuck. That's all. Woo! Man, that's not going anywhere. When you secure that screw, it's going to stay in place. So that's the third adjustment. Essentially, there are 3 adjustments that you can make. Like I said, I just did this for the video. This is not a proper adjustment, as you can see, but just to show you how to make the adjustments. The first two are on the bottom right here, which is lift the door up and move it left or right, okay? That's the first one. The second one is adjust that bolt on the bottom clockwise or counterclockwise. And the third adjustment is at the top, which involves that screw that I just showed you, loosening it, moving it wherever you want to move it, and then tightening it in place. That's it. Those are the 3 adjustments that you can make with bifold closet doors. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.